any of this before you walked over. Okay?
Can you put on that docket to let me know on the extension of a driveway and what that pertains to?
Yeah, I'll pull out the language from the ordinance and.
10 feet,
Yep.
1,000 feet.
Yep.
Because I would think the township's concern is where it meets the road, right? Like once it's in.
I have to look at what the ordinance language is. If it simply says alter, extend, whatever, there's no limitation. It's if you do any other extent. So,
You asked the question, we'll get you an answer.
yeah, I'm not gonna sit here and answer this all the
No, I
time.
understand that. I'm just gonna give you a copy, I got 3 copies, I'll leave you a copy.
All right.
Here you go. Look what we got. You
Thank
got
you.
that? Right, the next meeting we'll have an answer.
Yeah, I'll try to get one to Nancy before that. Okay?
And do you guys have any other questions you'd like us to have ready for the next meeting? I know there's been a lot of talk about what we're doing and what we're not doing, and I don't know that all of it's been accurate. So if there's
Well,
anything you'd like me to address at the next meeting.
Actually, we don't have a plan.
What plan would you like?
We need the plan to see what's going on up in the mountains.
How much it's gonna cost, and how much the permit will cost.
You're
I
putting in
don't
a
know.
big garden.
I'm putting in a big garden, yes. I'd like to do market gardening. I'm focusing on uncommon fruits. That's why we started establishing
So
that.
you're starting a
first
business up
intake.
there, is what you're saying.
Starting a business?
You're gonna run a business out of that.
I'm not gonna have a storefront up there, if that's what you're talking about. I'm going to grow fruit trees and fruiting bushes. Am I allowed to do that on my own property?
You are, but if you start building a cabin up there, it may roll into land development, in which case you need a land development plan.
Sure.
Or, right, so that's, I think, where we're going. We were
That's
trying
the
to,
plan I'm talking
yeah.
about.
So I think that's probably the question. If you wanna do a garden up there and that's all you did, yeah, you can do that all day. But you can't, if you, then it's not just an easement, it's a driveway if you drive up.
We had an agricultural building permit. We should have upgraded. Brooke and Matt redid their house. We got their kitchen from them. The plan evolved. We decided to build this smaller version of it with a little kitchen in it so we could process our fruits and vegetables. We should have changed the permit. Agreed. We'd like to get that building permit, so what do you need from us to do that?
Well,
Well, we had a land development plan from you at one time.
Yeah, I don't know if we want to go
And
through that.
it got sent back, and we haven't heard from Joe since.
Yeah, we asked
So
him to
that kind of lets our planning commission hang in the wind. And we already had violations on that plan, which you were notified of, several, probably about 6 or 8 violations.
What violation?
Erosion control plan.
Well, it wasn't violations, it was
They
just
weren't
conditions.
violations, they were conditions of the ordinances that we have in place.
Sure.
And that was all brought to your attention on that plan, and we haven't heard from Joe.
Yeah, I've asked him stuff. I'm currently working with commission, conservation, DEP, and Department of Agriculture. So I'm just waiting to hear back. It's a lot of moving parts, take some time to get answers from those people. I'd love to get you that plan, but, so that's what you need? That's all you need is to hear from,
We need a lot of information.
I'll tell you
And
this.
so I can't tell you what it all is, because I don't have all the working parts.
Can you put together a paragraph about what you wanna do there? That would be wonderful, because that defines what you're trying to do, and maybe we can back into what you need to do. How's that?
you want my farm plan?
Well, no, I just,
That's what we sent to, all the offices, it said the DEP, all that, you're like,
well, I don't necessarily need what you're doing in the garden, what you're gonna build up there. Okay, so if it's a cabin and it's gonna be connected to electric and things like that, just, that's what we regulate. We're not gonna regulate if you wanna put a garden. What we regulate if you're gonna build something, or you're gonna just move a bunch of dirt to build something. I'm just saying big picture. So if you can tell us what you're gonna build, what you're intending to build up there, in whatever time frame, and what you wanna do, and then to get a building permit, what you need a building permit for, let's put it that way.
Is there a difference in if you want to be able to occupy it, or if it's just like a garage with a kitchen in it?
Like
Is there a
an
difference?
Yeah, just tell us exactly what you wanna do with it, and then we can analyze it in terms of the building.
Initially, we wanted to make it a garage with a kitchen in it.
Mhm.
Now, if I already talked to BIU, they looked over my plan, and said I can get an occupancy permit for it, so I'd like to do that. Someday, if we decide,
What did you give to BIU? Did you give them this, or
no,
did you give
our
them?
map of the footprint of the plan.
Okay. Do we have that, or did you use what you gave to, from Joe? See, there's a lot of moving parts here, and I'm sorry, I just don't know what
That's
you're
okay.
doing up there. I'm trying to help you guys out.
We're trying to make sure that all of us are all on the same page,
Sure.
because obviously it sounds like you've talked to a lot of other parties, but not necessarily us, and we wanna make sure that all of us are all on the same page, so then we can make sure collectively can get you through this without any more issues or anything of that sort, so then you're doing everything appropriately according
So
from
you
the
have a building
township.
permit from us.
Yeah,
We
we did.
did, we had an agricultural law permit,
Okay.
expired.
So now you're working with BIU.
I stopped at BIU and asked
You're
them
asking them
if what
questions.
we now changed to, if
Okay,
they
well,
could
before you
give
go
us-
to BIU,
I
you have to
understand,
go here
because I
first.
sign up with you guys, they told me that.
We're just trying to say, all this is, like, we have a building permit that
So-
expires in July.
So Dave's gonna get with Tony and go over all of this and get you an answer sooner, hopefully sooner than the next meeting, but should definitely have something for you next minute, okay? Any other questions? If not, we're gonna move on to somebody else.
Do you need a paragraph thing from us still?
I think it would be helpful, just so I know what you're trying to do. That's-
One last question, if the building is under 1,000 square feet, does that matter? Is there any word, I've heard some people say that matters.
Well, if it's under 1,000 square feet, I think we have an exception in the building ordinance, don't we, for under 1,000?
Under a thousand,
5,000 square.
anything over 150 square feet needs a permit.
Okay.
Okay,
So again, if you tell us what you're doing, how big it is, that'll help us get started to analyze this, okay?
Okay.
That's really what I'm trying to get at, so we know what you're doing, because I'm getting in bits and pieces, I don't think I'm able to give you a full answer about that. Okay?
thank you.
Anybody else? Go ahead, Donna.
I have a couple quick questions. Real quick, do we have any news on where the Teats plant is right now? Has that moved at all, or it's just kind of, we don't know?
It's
anything
approved.
on that?
It's approved.
Well, I know it's
Condition agree with
approved, but I
the-
mean,
No, they haven't done,
Okay.
I haven't gotten anything, that they're
moving
with
forward
the
with.
conditions,
Okay.
right.
Well, was he ever billed and paid the bill for all the legal fees and?
I sent the bill out, I will send the bill out tomorrow. Yeah, and it
So
won't
there's
be
still gonna
signed.
be things that you have to review before this is
Yeah.
sitting here,
Before the
right? So
plan
you'll
officially
know.
is recorded,
Right,
it has to meet
okay.
all of the conditional things, which was, I believe, 11, don't quote me, but I think it was like 11 different items.
Sounds right. I'd have to check the
Yeah.
minutes. Okay, and then one other question, I don't know if you can answer this, or, well, I mean, I guess you can. Can you tell me why Buffalo Township supervisors have 2 meetings a month?
They just do.
I'm asking the chairman, thank you.
So, it was that way long before, probably long before I was even born. I have no idea when it was started or anything of that sort.
Okay,
So-
because I'd kind of be curious to go back.
I was gonna
and-
say, I would have to
Give me one
probably-
second, Art, give me 1 second. I'd be
Honestly,
curious
I'm
to go
gonna
back and
answer-
look
I'm gonna
when
answer
it's
the question.
started.
Well, honestly, I would have to defer off to Art, because he's been around this township a lot longer.
Fair
than me.
enough.
So,
You see what happens here?
I do.
Okay,
I do.
compound that by 2. How long do you think we'd be
So,
here in one meeting?
My question then is, there are 31 townships and boroughs in Perry County. You're the only one, the only one. You have a rural community that you deal with. You're the only one that does 2 meetings a month. Aside from Newport Borough, who has the option, they put the option out to have 2 a month. Every single other township and borough I researched does 1 a month. Now, if they can
Well,
have
actually, you're
the
incorrect. Powell
population,
Township
excuse
has
me, I'm
2.
not finished.
Oh,
When
well,
I'm finished,
you can interrupt me, I can interrupt as well.
so when they have things like sewer and water and a whole lot more people and, roads, parking, all kinds of things that this township does not have, and they can address those issues in 1 meeting a month. So they're only paying 1 meeting pay, they're only paying the solicitor to be at that 1 meeting, and then in addition to having the 2 meetings, we're now having, all of a sudden, these executive sessions on weekends where we're paying meeting pay and we're paying the solicitor to come on a weekend, which I can't imagine what that rate must be. And I'm just trying to understand the use of the public funds and what the outcome of those meetings were, because we've never been told what any, it's.
Well, you don't get to know what's executive session because it's
We don't get
executive
to know
session.
details. We are entitled to more than just, it's about,
You threatened to sue us twice.
No, once.
Well, you threatened to sue
Do
me
you
twice.
have it on record? Can you show me?
Yep.
Once.
Because it was the first meeting you were at, and it was just 2 meetings ago, we talked about planning commission. So I'm very sure you threatened to sue me
The
twice.
first meeting I went to where I spoke
So-
to you, I
Yeah.
threatened to sue you, not the township, you.
So,
So that was,
So-
I didn't see it in the minutes. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Pete.
do you have a direct question to your comments, your statement here?
The question is, why can't this township do it in 1 meeting a month when every single other one can?
So-
And why are we spending so much more money now on having extra meetings?
So, have you looked at what the pay is for the supervisors at the other municipalities that only have 1 meeting a month?
Nope.
Compared to the pay of the supervisors sitting
So
here
it's to
at
get
this
more
meeting?
money.
No. Are you
No,
listening to what
you
I'm
need to check
saying?
on the 1
So,
meeting a month, Pat.
Let me finish. So, if you would go and find out what they're paying those supervisors for 1 meeting a month compared to what make here for 2 meetings a month, you'd actually be surprised of your findings, because I can tell you for sure that there is municipalities out there that make more money for 1 meeting a month
Oh, I believe you. I
than,
believe you. I know some of the
what
meeting
coming
fees
here
are.
for this.
are
And
pretty
then at the
healthy.
same point in time, that's for a meeting that, a lot of these meetings have been going for several hours. That's me personally, and that's what I can say there. At the same point in time of, yes, I've been told before by multiple other people about that we're the only municipality that has 2 meetings a month, and why is that? And saying about saving money and everything else. At the same point in time, we're able to conduct business and address questions and issues in 2 weeks' time compared to a lot of municipalities have to wait over a month to be able to handle things. So, me personally, looking at it from that aspect, I feel that we're able to address issues and handle the business of the township more efficiently, more quickly than waiting out for a month. That's me personally. I'm only 1/3 of the say up here.
But it's because of that the TEATS plan was able to go through so quickly, because it could, be looked at a lot more quickly and come on, move it along.
If that's your hypothesis, that's your hypothesis.
Oh, I'm not saying that's why you have the 2 meetings, but that didn't hurt that from moving along.
No, actually, the plans are set through with a time frame period, which
Well, I
I
know
know
there's 90
you know
days.
because you did your
Right.
homework on
I
it.
know there's 90 days.
So,
But
anyhow, do you have another question?
But lastly, yeah, because the last question went on for more than 10 minutes, because I set my timer after it was going on and on and on, so give me another minute.
I've reset the time 3 times for you already.
I should have said it for myself. I'm pretty sure I wasn't up here for 10 minutes yet, but anyway, real quick. So basically what you're saying is, you're having secret meetings and you're not disclosing what you're meeting about.
We disclosed what we did under the sunshine.
Under the sunshine law, and I'll underline it and show it to you.
I'm
You
familiar
can't
with
be,
it.
you cannot be vague. You cannot be so vague as to say personnel matters. It's gotta be a little more. Who's the personnel? What, is it the planning commission? Is it a
We don't hire, the
supervisor?
planning commission
Is it-
aren't employees.
Well, technically, we kind of researched that because we thought the same thing, but
We
we
have to-
found
we
that
have to
even though they're
interview.
volunteers, they're considered an employee because they fall under.
But we didn't talk about the planning commission.
So, and for legal advice, so are we in trouble legally? If the township's having legal issues,
They actually had questions about how to conduct meetings because you and others have been saying that we're doing things illegally. So they consulted with their solicitor to make sure they weren't doing that.
the information's out there. If we can find it, why do they have to pay an attorney to find it? Just go
Well,
find
you
it.
do your
It's
research.
feedback.
Can you research the second-class township code?
I
And you
can.
look at what's it say for the solicitor?
No, I said I can.
Okay, it says the solicitors control all legal matters of the township. They consulted with their solicitor on legal matters that they were being accused of violating. And I assured them that they were not. And we're allowed to have executive sessions under the sunshine law. You had looked at it, Ms. Baker came and took a picture of us being parked in the parking lot. We saw her out there. So, you know,
Is there something wrong with that?
there
I was
isn't.
coming from my daughter's house. and
Just
took-
like there's nothing wrong with
Okay.
us having an executive session under the sunshine.
You're right, but guess what? The more quiet you become, the more you're gonna all be watched.
I agree, 100%.
Okay. Now, since you brought my name into it, and you say there's no violations of the Sunshine Act, when is the last time that the meeting agenda was posted outside the door
We've talked,
24 hours ahead of the meeting
And-
as required by law?
and I
Please tell me.
advised the
But
secretary
you're
of
sitting
that.
there telling me that or telling all of us that there are, there's no violations, You're wrong, there
Okay,
are.
there's one, it's a temporary one. What's the rest of them? What are the other violations that you know of? We didn't post the
You will
agenda,
be-
what else is there?
You
So-
will be presented with them eventually, very, very soon.
And by the way, Howe Township has 2 scheduled meetings a month as well.
They do.
Yes.
Okay, well then they need to update because,
Nancy, are we not scheduled for 2 meetings in Howe
Yes.
Township?
Yeah.
They're
is that a
advertised.
regular thing, Nancy, or is that something that's,
I advertise it at the beginning of the year.
okay, but that's been an ongoing regular thing because
Yes.
as of whatever
For the
was
last-
submitted to the Perry County website, the county
Well,
website.
that-
Yeah, oh, I know, because there's a lot of
That's
missing
somebody else
information
controlling
here.
that.
Right, and,
Yeah.
it needs to be updated, but seriously, for months and months and months, myself, lots of other people, we've been coming and asking you, please talk to us. We get this, we get told, we don't have to talk to you, we don't have to answer you. This is why this is happening now.
Well, you get very belligerent,
Because-
Donna.
When
You
when-
interrupt and you say, I'm talking. They try to answer your
How
questions.
if I say I'm talking when I'm
They try
talking, is
to
that
answer your
interrupting?
questions.
All right.
Okay,
So, I very distinctly at one point in time remember you telling me that I was not allowed to talk at a meeting,
I told you when.
at a public hearing.
Adjourn it.
So,
I
but
said,
anyhow,
I
we'll move
said,
on.
you said at the beginning of that meeting,
So,
no, we won't answer any questions, it's just a hearing. And then you started answering questions, that's what I asked about.
do you have any other questions?
No, I'm good.
Anybody else have anything else?
I do.
Go ahead, sir.
All right, getting back to, there was a question about the Teats plan. Are you aware of that the land has not been transferred back to the Stutzes as,
We were told the Stutzes signed their deeds.
Yes.
We were told that the deeds were signed and it was transferred to them. It has nothing to do with us.
okay, well, I just wanted to make you aware, because I thought that was part of the conditions.
So,
Well, the plan hasn't been recorded yet, so it's.
it cannot be recorded
Correct.
until all of those conditions
Are met.
are met.
All right,
So,
that was,
until those conditions are met, it cannot be recorded as per our
okay.
meeting, whatever.
All
So,
right. I just wanted to, I
so
just wanted to
if those
clarify
conditions are
that.
never met, the plan can never be recorded.
All right, that's great. Thank you.
Anybody else?
Sarah, you got something, don't you?
No, I'm gonna wait till next meeting. I have all the people, I wanted to see how it was ran. I mean, I can present it now, I just don't have the paperwork with me.
We have you on the agenda for next meeting, so we'll address you
Okay,
at that point in time. That way we can also have all the information in front of us.
absolutely, I'll bring you all paperwork.
So, if there's nothing else, and I adjourn the meeting.